Yo, so today I'm going to be showing you guys how I make Hyperpop melodies only using stock plugins. Alright, so before we start, I am going to be counting some one-shots, I think. Like the one-shot packs that are free, you can like go find them on Reddit or whatever. I will count that, and the only VSTs I use are ones that come with FL Studio, so like Flex, Citrus, things like that, just so we're on the same page that I think one shot should be okay. So to start off with, I have this steel Pluck loaded up, and I turn the reverb off, so it sounds like that. And I think I'm gonna go for like, I don't really know, maybe a whole lot of red type of thing, but I'm not really sure. I'll have to see how this goes, because I haven't really used stock plugins in a while. And I'm just going to use the most basic Hyperpop chord progression. So something like that. I'm just going to break up the chords, basically making it a arpeggio. And then I'm going to go and duplicate the bass notes just to make it feel more full. And the thing that I like about Flex is like some serum sounds, you can't alter the velocities on notes. But I remember because I used this before in a beat. But you can alter the velocity, so you can get like a really cool effect if you do like rolls and then like you alter the velocity. Basically the same thing I do with hi-hats. Yes, like that's what I was talking about, how this is now way more subtle and it blends in with the melody way better. So I think that's kind of like a cool start. And then I'm going to go in and add some like notes in here, because here's pretty empty with a low end. So I just want to make the melody as full as possible before I move on to another sound. And how I do that duplicating thing is I select a note, I hold shift, and I click it, and then you can drag that note around. And then in this second half, instead of adding more notes, I'm actually going to take some out because this melody is already really busy. So something like taking the middle note out of a triad will just make it feel a little bit lighter, but still trying to keep the same like rhythm and speed, but making it emptier, I guess. Yeah, so I think I'm going to keep this. It sounds relatively nice. I wish I could use serum to really spice it up, but that's the point in this video. But I'm going to go in and go back into Flex, and I'm going to turn the mix down on that delay just a little bit, because it's a little bit overwhelming. Oh, I just want to instinctually click like on this figure here. But I'm going to go to Citrus, because I know there's sub basses that I like in here. And, yo, they changed this. It's different. So I think that's pretty cool, but I want to get rid of that delay, but I don't know how. So I'm going to try to figure that out. All right, so we're not going to use that. I'm going to find something that I know. Okay, so that's nice, that's clean. So I'm going to use that. And I'm just going to copy the bass notes. And I kind of like the way it sounds with the two first bass notes being plucks and the last one being long, so I'm going to keep that. But I think I'm going to go back into Flex and find some kind of synth. Yeah, that's the one thing I don't like about Flex, how if you click on the sound, you still have to play a note to hear what sound you picked. It'd be a lot easier if you clicked and then it immediately previewed it. That would be a lot better. Alright, scratch that. We're going back in. We're going to the one-shots. So I'm just going to grab this lead. It's a one-shot. I don't know if this is really cheating, but we're going to go for it. And then if you have a one-shot lead and you want it to bend, you got to go here, and then 36-ish, I think is a good number. Yeah, so now it's bendy like a normal lead that you get in like Serum or Atmosphere. Now I'm just going to change up this last little roll here. And I think I want it to go up and then back down to that D sharp. So now I kind of want to find maybe like a kalimba maybe, but I do not know where to look. Maybe Plucked will sound cool. Bass guitar or some kind of plucked instrument. That's not what I'm looking for. Alright, so I think we might be able to actually find a synth sound in here, so I'm going to go ahead and look. Alright, so I found this sound. It's called Echoing Whistle, and it sounds like this. So it sounds pretty cool, so I think we might be able to use it and then cut the highs. So I think I'm gonna copy this over just to see how it sounds. Yes, that sounds pretty cool. And then when I do the mixing, I'll pan these two to opposite sides, and that'll really just bring everything together. Well, I guess it would break it apart, but whatever. Alright, so now I'm gonna look for that kalimba. My bad, that was just a habit. This sound actually might be pretty cool. I'm not even gonna try to say the name of that, but yeah. So then I'm gonna use this mallet to lead the melody upwards and then back into that drop when the lead goes back down to that D sharp. Alright, so that actually sounds pretty cool, so I'm gonna go drag that over. And then I might change the notes around in this one just to create some variation. So I'm gonna go ahead and put these up. So that sounds pretty solid. I'm gonna see what it sounds like up one more octave. Alright, so I kind of like where this melody is at right now. And I feel like if you're using stock plugins, most of the sounds you can get pretty far with, but it's really about how you mix them together. Because, I don't know, I just feel that way. Probably feel the wrong way, but it's whatever. So I'm actually going to show the mixing this time. So I'm going to start by leveling everything to 12, just so we get an even mix. So I'm going to probably skip till I get past this, because y'all don't want to see me level everything. That's kind of boring. Alright, here so we have a situation where I made this one shot, but it's actually not loud enough. So as you can see, it's like getting a little above 18. So what I'm going to do to fix this is go into the velocities, Control A, and drag the velocities all the way to the top. So now it's louder. And then when I go back into the mixer, now it's above 12, so I just have to lower it a little bit. So that's just a quick fix if you have like a one shot or a sound that is a little bit too quiet. Alright, so now let's get into the mixing. I'm going to start off by taking the lows out of this Pluck. And then I'm going to pan it slightly to the left because I know I want to do that eventually. And then I'm going to add chorus. Just the stock settings, one I always use. I'm going to turn it about halfway down. And then just for future use, I'm going to add a halftime. I'm going to put it on half. And then I'm going to turn that off because I'm going to use that in the arrangement. So it's just there. And the way that the mixer works is you can use the scroll wheel to drag these plugins or FX around. And then the one on top, okay, this is so difficult to explain. So basically, if this halftime was under the low cut EQ, it wouldn't be affected by it. So the frequencies would go below that line, but if it's above, it'll always stay like this EQ is taking place after the halftime takes place. Probably made no sense, but whatever. And then I'm just going to add a touch of reverb. So that just makes the sound a little bit nicer. And I'm going to pan this synthy thing I got in Auto Gun and pan that to the right, opposite of the Pluck. God, it's going to be a pain to make sound good. So I'm just going to start by EQing the lows again because I don't want anything interfering with the 808. Then I'm going to cut the highs. But I'm going to do that with a love filter. And then I think I'm going to actually put some distortion on this and then just have this sit in the background. And I'm going to lower the pan on them just a little bit because this synthy thing is a lot lower in volume. So it's kind of creating, like they're not equal, so you really are getting everything in the left ear. And then I'm going to do the bass. And then I'm going to right click on number 7, go to low pass, and then just drag this over. And then I'm going to also distort this. So I'm going to grab really fast distort. Alright, so this is a pretty good mix. I didn't really talk a lot because I don't know. But I'm going to listen to this on my monitors real quick, just to double check because I'm used to them more. Alright, so I listened to it on the monitors, and I just adjusted the levels slightly. And then on the sub bass, I added Maximus, and I put the gain knob up so it's all the way at the top, just to like boost it, make it sound way louder. And then I put a soft clipper so it doesn't clip. Yeah, pretty standard stuff. But yeah, now I'm gonna go up here, go split by channel, go to the playlist, select everything, put it in here, hit C, slice it halfway, hit P, and then duplicate it over 3 times. Move the bass down so it's out of the way, get rid of that part. And then I'll show you guys what I've been doing instead of having that third section of a melody for changes. So in the intro, I only want those kind of low lead notes to play. So I'm going to make this unique. Then I'm going to go in and just delete everything. So now it's just those notes. Alright, so now I'm just going to roughly go through and get rid of some of the sounds. Like maybe I don't want that there, and I want the mallet to be there, and maybe I'll use the halftime for this part. And I'm going to grab this, put this over here, cut it off halfway, get rid of that, have it empty here, and then everything come back in for the end. Alright, so now I'm going to go in and utilize this halftime that I put in. So I'm going to create an automation clip. And then I want this beginning part to slowly get slower. So I'm just going to have it rise up to about halfway because I don't want it to be completely slow. And then I'm going to have this section also be at roughly the halfway mark. And then I'm going to have it off for the rest of the loop. Alright, so I actually like the way it sounds going all the way up. And that sounds okay at a half level. So on the master, I'm going to go ahead and put an ambience, which is a free plugin. So you don't have to worry about like, oh, you're not using a stock plugin. But it's free. You can go grab it at like Plugin Boutique, I'm pretty sure. But it's a reverb. And I'm going to create an automation clip for that. And then I'm going to grab gross beat. Also a stock plugin. Put on a 1 beat gate. And then create an automation for that as well. Then I'm just going to bring these to the top just to make it all nice and neat. And then bring everything down 2 clicks. And then I'm just going to have the gross beat playing here. And then at the very end of the loop. So I'm going to lower this and do it right here. And then something I've been doing a lot in pretty much all of my melodies now, because I've tried to take like arrangement and mixing a little bit more seriously as a way to like differentiate my loops, is I'm going to do this reverb effect. So I have the reverb on the master, and I'm going to create a slope like this, and it'll give a, like a reverse effect, but with the reverb. So it'll sound, well, it won't be the best example because there's the gross beat, but like this. Yeah, so it sounds pretty cool, but you'll get a better example. And I'll just do it at major changes in the melody. So here it's going from basically nothing playing to almost everything coming back in. So then that transition will sound like this. Which maybe I want that to be a little bit skinnier. You can also do this effect on vocals. I haven't really tried it yet, but that's how I learned it from that guy on Instagram that he like uses a puppet to talk. He showed a video about this, and I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. I gotta use that.